You ever have that nagging feeling, that little voice in your head that asks, am I doing this right? Whether it's meditation or prayer or even just trying to be a good person, is any of this actually working? Well, today we are diving deep into the wisdom of a 7th century Zen master, Huneng, who is also known as the Sixth Patriarch. And his teachings from the Platform Sutra, they just cut through all that confusion. And the answers he gives feel shockingly modern and incredibly useful. Okay, let's get into it.
So, our story kicks off with one of the most famous and honestly most dramatic meetings in Zen history. So, picture this. You've got Emperor Wu of Liang. He's powerful, he's devout, and he has spent an absolute fortune building temples, bankrolling monasteries, you name it. He meets the legendary master Bodhidharma, and he asks a pretty reasonable question, right? Look at all this good stuff I've done. So, what's my spiritual payday? What merit have I earned? And Bodhidharma's reply is just brutal. Truly none at all. Can you imagine the shock? A whole lifetime of good deeds just dismissed? And that incredible exchange leaves us with a giant question.
I mean, if building temples and giving to charity doesn't earn you spiritual points, then what on earth does? What is this true merit that the emperor was so clearly missing? Well, this right here is the first huge myth that Huneng's teaching just completely dismantles. This idea that our spiritual bank account just automatically fills up with every good thing we do on the outside.
Now, Huineng steps in and clarifies that the emperor wasn't a bad guy. He was just confused. He was chasing one thing, thinking it was something else entirely. He was accumulating blessings, but thought he was gaining merit. And what's so powerful is how Huineng draws this super sharp line between the two. And believe me, this distinction, it changes everything.
Okay, let's break this down because it's so important. Over here on the left, you've got blessings. Think of these as the direct result of good external actions. You donate money, you help someone out. These things are great, but they're conditional. You do good, you get a good result. But kind of like a bank account, you can use them up. And often, we do them hoping for some future reward. Now, over here on the right is merit. And this is a completely different ballgame. It's an internal state, it's unconditional, you can't exhaust it, and it's not about getting a prize later. It's about a profound realization you have right now.
And here is Huneng's absolutely brilliant definition. The gong part, the merit, that's the inner work. It's that incredible aha moment of seeing your own pure, fundamental nature. And the day part, the virtue, well, that's just how that inner realization naturally shows up in the world, through real equality, true humility, and respect for everyone. You see? It's not something you get, it's something you are. The emperor was focused out there, on all his actions, when the real work was waiting inside him all along.
And this whole idea of focusing inward leads us right to the next big myth Huineng busts wide open. You know how so many traditions talk about heaven or a paradise, a pure land you go to when you die? Well, the common idea is that it's a real destination, somewhere far, far away that you have to earn a ticket to. But Huineng, he takes that idea and just flips it completely on its head. So someone in the crowd actually asks him this exact question. Hey, can we really get to the Western Pure Land? Just how far away is it? And they're totally expecting, a number of miles, an actual distance. But Huneng gives them something so much deeper. First, he gives them the traditional answer from the scriptures. He says it's 108,000 li away. I mean, that is an impossibly huge distance, a journey of lifetimes. You can just feel the hope in the room kind of deflate. How could anyone ever travel that far? And then comes the twist. Huneng says, sure, the texts say 108,000 li, but they're not talking about physical space. They're talking about the space inside you. The journey isn't across the universe, it's across the landscape of your own mind. And here's the map for this inner journey. It's amazing. Those 108,000 li, he says, they're just symbols for the 10 evils and 8 deviations, things like greed, anger, lying, holding wrong views. And he explains that if you can just get rid of those 10 evils in your mind, bam, you've just traveled 100,000 li. And if you clear away the 8 deviations, you've just crossed the final 8,000. And just like that, you're there. You've arrived. The journey has nothing to do with moving your body. It's all about purifying your mind. And to make it even clearer, he uses this incredible metaphor. He says your mind is a kingdom. Your true, enlightened nature, that's the king who's supposed to be in charge. But for a lot of us, this kingdom is a total mess. Greed is this massive, dangerous ocean. Our daily worries and problems are the waves constantly crashing down. And those moments of deep delusion, That's hell. It's right here, right now. The whole cosmic drama is playing out inside of you.
So, here's the bottom line, the crucial point. The world you experience is a direct reflection of the state of your own mind. If your mind is a mess of jealousy, anger, and confusion, well, you're living in a pretty rough neighborhood. But if you can purify your mind, your world, your actual reality becomes the Pure Land. You don't have to go anywhere at all.
Okay, this all sounds pretty profound, right? But it leads to a final and maybe the most practical question of all. Is this kind of deep inner work only for monks and nuns? You know, people who can dedicate their whole lives to it? What about the rest of us, with jobs and families and bills and just busy lives? And someone asks Huning this very question, speaking for pretty much everyone. This is great, Laster, but how do we practice this stuff at home? He's basically asking for a user's manual, a practical guide for finding enlightenment while you're stuck in traffic or doing the dishes. And you know what? Huning delivers. He gives them this practical guide. He calls it the Formless Gotha, and it's basically a checklist for real life. He says, look, a peaceful mind is the best rule to follow. Honest, straightforward action is the real meditation. It's not just about sitting on a cushion. Real spirituality is in how you treat people, kindness to your family, humility with everyone you meet. And the greatest wisdom of all, it's having the guts to look at your own flaws and actually change them. I mean, this single line from his poem just says it all, doesn't it? Bodhi, enlightenment, awakening, peace, whatever word you want to use for it, it's an inside job. We spend so much of our lives searching for happiness and fulfillment out there somewhere, in a better job, a new relationship, the next vacation. And Huning's message is this radical invitation to just stop and turn your attention around and look inward. This is the huge shift in perspective he's offering. It's moving from being a spiritual shopper, trying to collect merit points and book a flight to paradise, to becoming a spiritual explorer, discovering the incredible treasure that's already waiting inside your own mind. And here is the beautiful promise. It is not some vague hope for a distant future. Huning says, if you practice this way, by cleaning up your own mind and acting with kindness and integrity in your day-to-day life, that profound state of peace and clarity isn't a million miles away. It is, literally, right here, right now, right in front of you. So that really leaves us with just one final question, a personal one. If the Pure Land is just a pure mind, and the journey there is just about removing our own inner roadblocks, then the real question isn't how do we get there someday. The real question is, what's one little evil or deviation, what bit of greed, what spark of anger, what cloud of confusion can you start working on today to take one small step closer to discovering that this incredible place has been right where you are all along?